Hello, Mr. Wahlberg here. 4.3 is solving inequalities with multiplication and division. Again, like we have already been doing, same rules apply as to solving equations. 2 times x here is less than 12, so I would divide by 2 on both sides, and 2 times 6. So my answer there would be x is less than 6. Same thing here, 5b is greater than 25, so 5 times 5 is 25, so my answer would be, b is greater than 5. Okay, so that's normal. We should know how to do that from solving equations. The only difference is when you have to multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, and here is my example down here. Negative 2c is greater than 24. I would divide by a negative 2, just like I would with solving equations. 24 divided by negative 2 is a negative 12. So here's the difference. Anytime you divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number, you have to flip the sign, because if you notice here, it was greater than 24, which is positive. Because I divided, it now made it a negative, so it becomes c is less than negative 12. I'll keep showing you examples of that.
Alright, here's another example we look at. It says solve x divided by 5 is less than or equal to a negative 3. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that. I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. Cancels out. I'm looking at x is less than or equal to, I multiply by 5 on this side, becomes a negative 15. Now, I'm not flipping my sign because I did not multiply or divide by. It was a negative 3. And I multiplied by a positive 5, and I don't have to flip because this stayed negative. This is still a negative answer, so x is less than or equal to it. Of course, I need to graph this, so I would make a number line. Negative 15 would be here. Let's call 0 here, negative 5, negative 10. Sorry, it's a mess, but you get the point. It is equal to, so I would color in the circle. It's less than or equal to, so it would be going this direction. Okay. Another example here, solve 6x is greater than negative 18. Let's go ahead and solve this. I'm going to rewrite it here, and I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. When I do that, that cancels out the 6's, and I'm looking at x is greater than negative 18 divided by 6 would be a negative 3. Again, I'm not going to flip because I divided by a positive. I only flip when I multiply or divide by a negative, and I did not do that here. Graphing, here's 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. It's not equal to, so I have an open circle, and it's greater than, so I'm going to be going this direction. Now is a situation where you will see me flip. Negative 3 halves n is less than or equal to a positive 6. I'm going to multiply because I need to divide by negative 3 halves, so I'm going to multiply by its reciprocal, which would be a negative 2/3. These would cancel, and I would be left with just n on this side. On the other side, I am going to multiply by a negative 2/3, and when I do that, I am going to get negative 12 over a positive 3, which is going to be a negative 4. So I had a positive number here, and I've now made it a negative. So again, because I have multiplied by a negative number, I am going to flip the sign, so now it becomes greater than or equal to a negative 4. Of course, you should be experts at this point on how to graph inequalities. Here is 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. It is equal to, so I need to color in the dot, and that's a negative 4. It's greater than or equal to, so I'm going to go this direction, that way, coloring it in, going like that. Alright, one more example we should look at here. Negative 3z is greater than a negative 4.5. I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. These cancel out. I'm looking at z. Now in this case, again, I divided by a negative, so that's going to change my symbol on this side of the inequality. It's going to become a positive 1.5. Because I divided by a negative 3, I am going to flip the symbol this direction. And again, you should all be expert at this point. 0, 1, 2, so my 1.5 would be right there. I'm going to have an open circle, and it's less than, so it's going this direction. That'd be 1.2, 1.5 right here. So right here going this direction. Okay? Alright, couple practice problems for you to try here. Solve m divided by 4 is greater than negative 4, and then graph the solution. And one other one here, solve negative 4/3 b is greater than 8, and then graph the solution. Try both of those, and like I said, graph them, and we'll look at them tomorrow. Hope you followed along, and have a good night. We'll see you. Bye-bye.